CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. Luka is finally getting some rest. We've been talking about the knee issues on the past couple of videos, specifically discussing the Dallas Mavericks, how his knees have still been bleeding from time to time in some of these regular season games, how in the first round of last year's playoffs he had stated that if it wasn't the playoffs, if it was the regular season, that he would take time off to heal, and now here we are in next year's regular season, and he's playing through it. So, he's finally taking a day off, second day of a back-to-back. Mavs just beat the Spurs yesterday, a Spurs team without Wembanyama, so probably one of the worst teams in the league at that point. Got the dub, and now today at the Oklahoma City Thunder, Luka is going to take this game off, and if we look at the injury status, you can see that ESPN has refused to make the proper updates as they're only showing Dante Exum out. However, they also have an article posted on their website saying Luka's out. So I don't know how much we can really trust ESPN's injury report system, but they need to make some updates. Anyways, so for the Thunder, they also have some players out as well. They've got Alex Caruso out, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Isaiah, and Nikola Top. I mean, they got a ton of players out right now. They don't have a lot of depth at the big position. I still expect the Thunder to win this game, but the Mavs do have the advantage of having the bigs in Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford to go up against this Thunder team that is a bit weak at the center position at the moment. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out. But I still expect the Thunder to win the game today, and that's totally fine because Luka needs a break. I'm a little bit concerned about his long-term, stability and longevity. He's quoted here saying it's a matter of time, just not a lot of time to rest, but I'll get better for sure, I promise. That famous last words of the empty promise there. But we'll see. A little bit concerned, as we've stated in past videos, just, if you look at highlights from even 2 seasons ago when people were already making comments about the added weight and his sluggishness, and look at games from this season. I mean, that's only 2 years ago, and he already looks like he's aged 10 plus years. His knees look like they're really bad shape, and I just hope, for long-term sake, I'm not concerned as far as success for this season goes, but, looking 5 years down the road, can Luka still play at a high level with the knee issues? I don't know. I'm worried, but I'm glad that they're at least being a little bit mindful of the situation and strategic. Get the easy win yesterday, and then going into today, hey, just take the day off. And, so glad he's taking the day off. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about the situation. This does seem like it's going to be a one-game type of deal. If we look at the upcoming Dallas Mavericks games, after playing at OKC, they're going to go back home, the 3-hour drive back down to Dallas to play against the New Orleans Pelicans. And the Pelicans, we've talked about them quite a bit. If we go ahead and scroll down here to New Orleans, they got almost their entire starting lineup out at this moment. CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, Zion Williamson, DeJounte Murray, heck, even Trey Murphy's day-to-day now. They got Brandon Ingram, I guess. They don't have a lot going for them. So we got that game coming up for the Mavs. That should be a win. At Denver, Jokic is currently out for personal reasons. I'd imagine he'd be back for this game. And then, of course, Aaron Gordon out for, I don't remember how long he's out, but he's out for a little bit. Jimmy Butler's been out recently, but I would not be surprised if he's back for this game on the 24th. So that Denver game could be a loss. The Miami Heat game, it's kind of a toss-up. Atlanta, I would think that would be a win. But, of course, we also thought this Jazz game was going to be a win, and look how that turned out. Home versus New York, would hope that's a win. Jazz, hope the rematch would be a different outcome than the previous one. I mean, the schedule's not easy. Obviously, in the NBA, it's, night to night. It's never easy. You just never know what's going to happen. But at least it's not the best of the best. Obviously, the Denver Nuggets are really good. But after today's game versus the Thunder, The schedule looks like it's easing up a little bit. I mean, throw in here Portland, you're throwing in here Washington, Toronto, a couple games versus the Clippers, another Portland game. So the schedule looks like it's easing up a bit after the last stretch where the Mavs had to go up against the Suns, the Nuggets, the Warriors, now against the Thunder. Talk about the Rockets. The Rockets are looking really good. There's another game against the Suns. So things are starting to ease up a little bit here for the Dallas Mavericks as far as the schedule goes. So I'm hoping things will turn around now. And hopefully they'll give opportunities for Luka to rest. Like, I'm just looking, for example, on these they're not back-to-back as far as one day after the next. They got a day of rest in between, but maybe Luka rests one of these games against the Clippers. Maybe Luka rests on the Portland game or the Toronto game. I'm just looking potential opportunities for Luka to get his rest in, maybe on the back-to-back here, Miami, Atlanta. Maybe he takes the Atlanta game off. So we'll see. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. And then, of course, getting into today's games, we're going to make the predictions like we always have been so far, just getting absolutely wrecked by the FanDuel Sportsbook betting odds. We're down 10 games now. Last night, we got most of the games right. They lined right up. Our predictions lined right up with the betting odds. But we were wrong about the Bucks-Hornets game, where the Hornets got those controversial free throws at the end of the game. LaMelo getting fouled, except there really wasn't a foul. Not a lot of times I'll side with Doc Rivers, but I'll side with him on this one. So today's games, we have... let me scroll this to the left so y'all can see. We've got the Suns at the Timberwolves. Now the Suns, they don't have Bradley Beal. They don't have Durant. They got a couple other injuries too. Timberwolves, I believe DiVincenzo's day-to-day. But otherwise, they're looking pretty healthy. I'd give this one to the Timberwolves. Heat versus Pacers. Jimmy Butler's out, so we'll go Pacers on that one. Hornets, Cavs. At this point, it's kind of hard not to pick the Cavs. Pistons and Wizards. Two of the worst teams in the East. I'm leaning towards Pistons just because of the veteran leadership on Detroit's team. Nuggets and Grizzlies. Grizzlies obviously dealing with some injury issues. John Morant out. Marcus Smart, I believe, is day-to-day, questionable today. I don't remember if he's out or not. But the Nuggets, without Jokic, they aren't looking so good. So we will go with the Grizzlies on that game. Hawks, Blazers. That one's a bit of a toss-up for me. Hawks are dealing with some injuries themselves. We'll go Portland Trail Blazers at home. Nets and Knicks. We'll go Knicks. Rockets and Bulls. The Rockets are sneaky good recently. They're third in the West right now, I believe. So we'll give it to the Rockets. The Bulls, obviously not that good. Mavs Thunder, like I said, there is a window in which the Mavs could, or a possible scenario in which the Mavs win this game, just having the advantage on the boards. But I still give this one to the Thunder. And then Jazz Clippers. I got to give this one to the Clippers at home. So we'll go ahead now compared to the FanDuel Sportsbook betting odds. Again, not promoting, encouraging use FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm not partnered or affiliated with any sports betting, sports gambling site. If you're going to do it responsibly. I'm just sharing my opinion and comparing for fun. Minnesota favored by 7 against the Suns. The Pacers favored at home by a few points. Cleveland favored. Detroit favored. Memphis favored. Atlanta favored on the road against Portland. So we're differing from the sportsbook betting odds there. Knicks favored, Houston favored, OKC favored, and the Clippers favored at home. Let me know your predictions if you have any in the comments, and click the video on your screen for some more NBA discussion.